There we
Hi.
go.
We're here again.
Hey. Okay, good. I'm not hearing myself talking back to me.
Yeah, I know it was hard for you to talk, wasn't it? Because you kept on
It was, yeah. I
and
kept
see,
interrupting myself.
I wasn't hearing it. So it's crazy that everybody else could, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
Super weird. Anyway,
Well, maybe you'll have to chat with James about the eCam thing.
right? Yeah, because I actually just paid for the full version too, which maybe I don't want
Yeah,
to.
I definitely want that to work then.
Okay, now what do you see right now?
Well, I see you and you look very clear.
Okay. Do you see, like,
So
because I see you really clear, but then I'm tiny up top.
can you click where it says gallery view?
Oh, yeah. Where is that? Why is it? News.
Mine's right up at the top on the right, but yours, it might be different for you. I'm not sure.
Oh, there, view. Yep. Gallery. There we go.
Okay.
That should be better. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. I'm going to get my Facebook set up again in Zoom.
I like that conscious language thing of perfectly imperfect or imperfectly
Right?
perfect. That there you go.
Yep. You're being perfectly perfect.
Yep.
I'm glad someone told us though, so we didn't go through the whole thing echoey. Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's go. Setting up your meeting.
There we go.
All right. All right. Hello, you guys again. We're hoping that we're more clear for you guys now. How do I sound for you, Crystal?
You sound perfect.
Okay, I'm gonna just turn my sound on for a sec so I can hear us on my phone.
Okay.
And
There we go.
oh yes, we sound much better. Right. Okay, we're good now. So, welcome back, you guys. For those of you who might have been on the last live 5 minutes ago. So, we are being imperfectly perfect, we decided. So, once again, I have Crystal here, who is in a program with me, and we've kind of connected through that program. And I've invited her to chat some self-love stuff with us today, along with some of the stuff that she's doing. And we're going to briefly touch on like an introduction to an aroma freedom technique, which she does, which is super interesting to me and has helped me a lot too, the times that I have got to do them. So we'll start off by Crystal, if you can just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you.
Absolutely. Well, first, thank you again so much for having me. And I love and adore what you are doing. I could have used this 20 years ago, but I'm really grateful to be connected with you in these middle age years.
Yeah.
But I am a homeschooling mom of two boys, 4 and 12. I think they're going on 30. And I live with my husband and best friend in Florida. And yeah, like this journey has just been amazing for me. It's something I never envisioned, but it all came out of that, like my own desperation and just stuff that I had to do for myself. And I fell so in love with it. I'm like, everyone needs to know this. And
Right.
it keeps going and going and going.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
in a nutshell, like that's everything natural, holistic health and wellness right now. And it all started because of my own desperation for myself.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah, and I think we're so much better equipped to help others with those things when we've gone through what they're going through. And you're able to give them a perspective that they clearly know, but that there's hope on the other side of it, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's cool. So anything else you wanted to share for intro, or are we cool to answer a couple questions now?
Yeah, definitely can go
Yeah.
into the questions because I think that'll
Sounds
answer everything else too. So
awesome. Okay. So our first question for you is, what does self-love mean to you? In a nutshell.
in one word, it's everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does it mean to me? It means everything. And what that practically applies to is how I show up for my kids because I am with them all the time, really. And I'm an introvert. I'm also very highly sensitive. And if you look at the definition for a highly sensitive person and an empath, that's
Yeah.
I tick all the boxes. So I'm overstimulated very easily. And
Yeah.
I have a very loud, rambunctious 4-year-old. So very clearly right there, like I have a big heart to take care of my kids and make sure they have an amazing life. Yet yeah, that was one of the first things that I noticed was like, I'm not being that for them because I can barely manage to get through a day without feeling like I'm gonna pull my hair out or go crazy. How am I gonna do this? I have
Yeah.
a strong passion to homeschool and be there for them. But I can't do that if I don't do self-care. So same with my spouse. I love him so much. He's my best friend. He's a wonderful guy and he deserves a lot. He's been through a lot. So again, there's like, how do I show up for them when I can't do that for myself? Then there's the friends, like that's enough right there to go
Yeah.
outside of my family and then to serve and do the things I'm really passionate about, which is helping people. I can't do any of that. So literally it means everything to me.
Yeah. Oh, I love that so much. It almost made me tear up a little because it's totally like, um, it is everything. And I don't think people realize how much that if we can't love ourselves, that we can't show up for anybody. So I love, and it's such a simple word of saying that it's everything, but it totally encompasses totally how I feel too. So I love how you worded that. Yeah. So our next question is, what do you already love about yourself? So kind of looking at the progress you've made so far, and the things that you can say confidently that you love about you.
That has been a whole journey in itself. Oh, and I know the questions coming up are going to get a little more into that stuff, but right now, what I can go back and say is I'm a fighter and not just a survivor, but I'm a thriver. And like just what you said, like I've never been able to do anything perfect. So what tripped me up was like an instantaneous, I'm a failure if it's not perfect, which,
Yeah.
you know, who does anything perfect all the time anyway?
Yeah.
But I think that's the biggest thing I've learned to love about myself and appreciate is that I just don't give up. It doesn't mean that I never feel like giving up because
Yeah.
there are days, and my husband can vouch for it, where he's having to be like, he's listening to me spew. And, you know, but I get back up and I realign, I reassess, and I get back up and keep going.
Yeah.
And I've learned to really appreciate that. And from that, I think I can learn to love myself more.
Yeah.
That
No,
makes sense.
no, I love that. And I think that, um, that fight in you, I think a lot of people kind of, can sometimes think of that as something not as positive of like, well, I guess it would be like, I guess I'm thinking of like, sometimes it can get in the, actually, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm gonna stop because I can't think of where I was going. I totally had like a drift off moment. Anyway, I love, yeah, like the fighter part I admire for sure. um I think that's how us mamas get through life is not giving up,
Sure.
right? um
For every day.
yeah, absolutely. uh So my next question for you is that what do you need more of to be at peace with yourself? So maybe taking a look at either your self-care routine or things about your journey that you know you need to work more on. Um, just kind of going a little deeper into the things that you still know, that because I know we're all on this journey, and it's not that you check all these boxes and then poof, everything is fine. It's like a continued journey. So kind of giving us a little insight to where you are at.
Oh, well, it is interesting. And I'm going to try to condense this as much as possible. My journey, I really struggled with self-hatred for so long, due to different types of abuse in my life. I was gaslit a lot, and by multiple people in my immediate family growing up, and then dealing with narcissist abuse. And all that does is like it messes with your head.
Yeah.
It literally gives you negative voices in your head. And like, what you had mentioned before is you find yourself getting into a better place, yet it's still there.
Yeah.
So um, I've overcome so much, but so now it's like I almost want to go all the way over here and forget all this stuff, but there's still that unpacking that needs to do. So that's the hard thing for me is I don't want to go back, but I know I have to. I
Yeah.
like the AFT and everything. And right now I'm for accountability. This is a journal. And I got one page down. I've been procrastinating for like a month because I'm in a coaching program and I have to write my origin and my origin story, how
Okay.
I got started.
Yeah.
And how I got started is all the ugly, ugly, ugly stuff that I've been trying to just move forward and move past. So,
Yeah.
yeah, but I feel the weight of it. I feel that heaviness and I want to unpack it. I want to go back and sit down and work through it and let it go and release it.
Yeah.
So it's being consistent with that and loving myself enough to go, if it's bothering me this much, then just go back and be done with it,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. No, I think, and those things are so hard. I know I did a program 2 years ago now, I think, where we did similar. It wasn't called an origin story, but we had to do a total history of our life and all the points that stuck out to us in our mind, whether and like a lot of them tend to be negative stuff that stick out to you, right? Um, and even though how hard that was to go through all those things, the cool part that we did, which I don't know what yours is like, but we had to go through and after we wrote all those things that negatively impacted our lives and like that timeline of all these things that have stuck out for us, and then turning it around to like what lessons can we take from it and what things have we grown from because of having that situation. So being able to kind of like thank it to a certain degree because it's allowed you to be the person you are now. It's so hard, but it's so powerful. Like it's so it kind of you become a whole new person after you kind of are able to unload all that baggage, right? So you can do it. It's going to be so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess our one of our last questions before we go into learning more about what you do is what do you value about yourself? So telling us like your traits that you admire and like the type of person that you are, whether it be your truth, like you're like that you tell the truth or that you're honest or yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
So, I mean, this is all other people's perceptions as well, but for me, I've grown to really appreciate that I do see the truth. I don't look at things sugar coated or overly pessimistic.
Yeah.
It's just kind of straight, realistic how it is. And then I have this like urge to always tell the truth. I cannot tell a lie. I just, so, that's something I've learned to appreciate in myself, as I've gotten older is the honesty factor and that I do value integrity. And um, I care so much about other people that I really want to respect them. And
Yeah.
especially with the generation we have, you know, a lot of the different things going on and what we see, how people treat each other. I value those things even more. All right, buddy. Sorry. 4-year-old,
Yes.
you know,
We've all been there.
I'll, I'll try to make it real quick before he comes back out. But yeah, and I think that I can sit back and love people unconditionally. So, like, no matter what they're going through or what they look like, what they've done or experienced in their life, there's like an objective love to it. So
Yeah.
I don't judge people,
Yeah.
you know,
No.
and especially dealing with clients and their insecurities and vulnerabilities, like they're hacking it for me. And sometimes I'm realizing that that's such a valuable thing because people are afraid to be real. And I'm totally about being real.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. And also, like, being a dreamer. I never used to value that in myself before. And I would spend like my whole youth just like doodling and like being the squirrel brain and scatterbrain, but I'd be up in the air and dreaming about all these things.
Yeah.
So now in this environment that we're in, there's actually beauty in that. Now I'm finally stepping into who I am and going, oh, okay, I meant to kind of change the world in a different way and
Yeah.
show up in different ways. So yeah, I
No.
think for me, 33 is a really good year where I'm really stepping into all these things that I used to hate about myself
Yeah.
and appreciating it
Yeah.
and the uniqueness.
I love that.
So,
Those are all such good things. And I love the dreamer part because I feel like um feel like you and I are kindred spirits in a lot of ways. Like that what you're saying, I'm like, oh yes. So I think and I don't think not everybody has that kind of instilled in them. Like I talked to a friend a while ago that she said that she doesn't know how to dream. Like that's never been something that she's ever been taught to do or ever thought about. Of like, I'm not allowed to have dreams. This is just my life and I have to accept it. And that's who I am. Right. And I just, when she said that, I was just like, oh my gosh, like we got to help you with this. Cause I think, yeah, life can be so amazing if like, I think we all need to dream and have goals and be up in the clouds. Like, I think there's a time and a place to not to be in the clouds, but I think it's so important. And that's like the kind of people that do amazing things in their lives are the people that are able to do that, right? Yeah. So that's awesome. So do you have a couple minutes more to chat about? I know you have little people. It's okay.
he's doing really well right now. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
good.
I've got a few.
We have lots of mamas in here, so we all get it. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
well, he just went to the bathroom. So, if you actually will give me just one moment, I'll put his undies back on for him.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
And make sure it's not on camera.
Right. So yeah, if you guys once Crystal comes back on later on, if you guys have any questions for her, once she's going to talk to us a bit about AFT and the things that she's doing, which is super exciting. And yeah, and if you have any questions for her or comments, if you guys are watching this on the replay later, just hashtag replay so we know that you came on and said hi. So that'll be good.
All right, we're good.
Being imperfectly perfect again.
But real too. So,
Yeah. Perfect. So yes, so now I would love for you to tell us kind of like how you're serving people now, and then maybe a little bit about AFT because I know that's part of your offerings, but yeah, so I'll let you take it away.
so I'm doing a lot. But yeah, going back to like the being the dreamer and everything, I'm now able to take those things that is part of me and put it into what I'm doing. So a big chunk is coaching. So with AFT, um, it kind of has evolved into this. And I've created little mini programs. I tailor it to people based on what they need. And I draw from my own experience. So it's very unique. It's really hard to just like put a description up there. But I have different genres and things that I am certified in. So, one, I just got certified as an ULA life coach. And if you don't know about ULA, very quickly, it just covers the 7 key areas of life. Oh, this will be a good test. Faith, field, fertility, fun, fitness, and finance. I hope I didn't repeat myself.
think so.
But basically, the concept is if you pour into those areas, you find out where you're out of balance. And if you start pouring into the things to make sure it is balanced. So it's all about life balance and reducing stress to help you go after the life you're meant for, which is like that self love right there is it's in it.
Yes,
Like Ola
absolutely.
is all about.
Yeah.
So again, like that ties everything I'm already doing and passionate about. And it's just another way for me to show up and serve people. So then we have AFT, which stands for Aroma Freedom Technique. And that has been phenomenal for me. I do this in some form every day. So typically I'll do a very quick, like 1 minute reset. But sometimes I'll really need to dive deep and do the big, longer, intensive ones. And I say intensive just because that's where it really is going in there and pulling out the baggage, sifting through it, and clearing that junk out so it never returns.
Yeah.
And I have videos on my YouTube. I'm not going to go into all the detail here, but I have stuff on the science of it, what it actually is. Is it right for you? The different versions or variations of it. And it covers all the key areas of life too, from procrastination to lack of focus and even being afraid, living in fear and panic attacks and stuff. It's been transformational for me. If I can say one thing that has changed everything for me, it's been AFT, which is why I got certified as a practitioner.
Yeah. That's,
It started for myself because I knew I needed it. It was more effective than years of being in counseling, any prescription drugs.
yeah.
Uh, but you can hear that in my AFT story video. um, so yeah, that's what I'm doing. And especially with the past year, everyone's open to it now.
Yeah.
And it's actually been incredible to see that since I kept to my path and the time frame, I'm now here to show up. A year ago, or 2 years ago, I should say, I wouldn't have been able to do what I'm doing now because
Yeah.
I was in such a state myself.
Yes. Absolutely.
So it's overwhelming. And then, I got certified as a holistic health coach, and I'm on the track. I'll eventually be a naturopath doctor, non medical. I got certified as an aromatherapy coach. And a big chunk that I'm working on now is a care instructor. I'm already certified
Yeah.
as a raindrop technique specialist, but I am pursuing it to the full capacity because that's another thing. It stands for Center for Aromatherapy Research and Education. So it's all about essential oils and how we use them as these amazing tools every day. So again, essential oils are all about self-care as well.
Yes. Yeah.
And I wanted to highlight acceptance right there
Yeah. That's a good one.
for, if you have issues. And that's one of my meditation things is if I'm struggling to just use acceptance.
Yeah.
So, but basically, everything that I've learned for myself is now what I'm just trying to go out and share and help other people with because I
Yeah.
know I've learned that I'm not the only one that goes through the things, you know,
Yeah.
and it's pretty amazing to realize that all the bad stuff, like the lessons you've learned in life
Yeah.
that you've unpacked, realizing that, wow, if I didn't go through those things, I wouldn't be able to show up and help people now who
Yeah.
are where.
Yes,
And
exactly.
that is incredible. So it's always shifting, it's always tailored to the person and the situation, but those are the main core things I throw out there.
Yeah.
So,
That's awesome.
did you have anything about AFT you wanted me to share?
Um, okay, maybe quickly we'll do, I know AFT is like, there's so much to it. So I feel like, I'm going to have Crystal back in here for us, to maybe do a session. And, so I guess if you want to just like, I think you explained it a little bit, but maybe go briefly into like what a session would look like in a nutshell. And then I'll maybe get some feedback from everyone if that's something we want to get you in to do, and we'll create like a little event for it and stuff like that.
All right. So, AFT basically is an aroma therapy technique that was developed by Dr. Benjamin Perkis, who is a licensed clinical psychologist. So, he took the psychology background and his profession and found the science of aromatherapy, put them together, and it's incredible. So the combination, and I've got them here, frankincense and stress away, are the three main ones. There are different variations, but it's the combination of different questions or prompts to get yourself in the right space. And it pulls up those emotions and what they call the memory complex. Again, there's a whole video on the science of it, so I'm going to keep
Yeah.
it really,
Yeah.
but that's the process. And there are 6 different variations of it. So the full original aroma freedom technique has 12 steps. Call it like the 12-step program. So basically, what it does when you feel highly charged in an emotion and you're getting stuck, and if you don't know why, then the aroma freedom technique can help through this gentle process that can be anywhere from 5 minutes to an hour and a half, depending
Yeah.
on the person. Um, it's incredible what gets revealed, helps you to get in touch with yourself and connects the subconscious to the conscious.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you know, if I could say what it's kind of like, the results is like a really intense meditation session where you come out of it with
Yeah.
all these realizations and everything and feeling really connected and really kind of grounded.
Yeah.
So,
Like I
but
feel
science,
like,
it's amazing.
yeah,
Go ahead.
like the sessions that I have done through our program we were taking, I think the biggest takeaway, I looked at it as being this like powerhouse of combining like journaling, meditation, and aromatherapy, but like put it like supercharged, right? That's like, so it's intense, but in a way that you feel so much release from it, right? Yeah, it's amazing. So
Yeah, and I just wanted to throw in there that when we talk about like how intense and powerful it is and things that can come up, it's a very gentle process
yes,
and it's
yeah,
in no way therapy either. So you're not sitting there like divulging all these secrets. You go through it and then you write down and take notes on whatever comes up for you so you
mm-hmm.
can unpack it later. But then it's such a gentle process and you're in that maybe unpleasant place for maybe a minute or two,
Yeah,
and then it gets cleared and it goes away. So what I call it is like pulling up this stuff by the roots and then just throwing it out. And that's pretty much about how quick it is too.
yeah.
It's
Yeah, like I guess I probably chose not the right word when I said intense. Like I don't mean to scare people by saying that. Like I mean it like it's just so powerful to me in a way that it's like if you just did those things singularly, that they wouldn't have this like near the same effect that they do all together. Yeah. So that's awesome. So I think is that kind of like, I think that kind of explains it really well. Um yeah,
as
so
best as
Yeah, I know. It's so hard because there's so much to it. We could have a whole nother
Mhm.
session on just talking about it, I'm sure. But I'll maybe like I'll put a poll out and we'll see who wants to do an event and we'll get you to come in and actually do a session with us. I'd love to have you in for that.
Great. I'd love.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. So, was there anything else you wanted to share, Crystal, or how are you feeling?
Um,
You good?
just thank you. I really
Yeah.
appreciate it. And
Oh,
yeah, like all this stuff, like whatever you want to do for self-care, just like start slowly and explore. It's
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
And it may lead to a whole new career path for you. You never know. That's what it did for me.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
And
Yep, for sure. No, I think it's taking those small steps and then just seeing where it takes you, right? Um,
yeah. Mhm.
Absolutely. One thing I don't think, maybe in the comments after we're done, if you want to pop in, like I know you have a group that if people want to learn more about you and join your space, pop any links you want in after too, because that would be awesome for people to check you out. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you
Absolutely. And
guys.
I just wanted to throw in, I'll also offer a discount for any of my coaching sessions or programs for your group, but I'll leave that information in
Okay,
there.
sure. That's awesome. Thank you. That's great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening and leave us a comment later if you're watching this later. And thank you so much, Crystal, for coming in. It's been so nice to get to know you more through this stuff and excited to see what we do together moving forward. So,
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
okay. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.